Okay, what we're going to look at is the theories of aging for Chapter 3. There's some really big major theories on aging, but remember, no one theory can really explain why we age. We're just going to take a look at them. We're going to look at some of the similarities and the differences and really describe the processes from a biological and a psychosocial perspective. We're going to look at the rationale for using multiple theories of aging to describe this crazy complex phenomena that we have of aging. We're going to describe a general theoretical framework that is taken from all of them, which really is going to assist you as the nurse to make those clinical decisions. So key terms to remember, maybe some of them you've seen before, and most of them I think you have. But if we look at free radicals, this is what we talk about, the oxidative end products of metabolism of our fats and our carbs and our proteins. These create the free radicals, and they attach to other molecules of protein and enzymes and to DNA, and they can cause damage. This is why we take antioxidants, the vitamin B, carotene, vitamins A, C, and E, to help counteract the damage from free radicals. Immodulation, this is an immune response where modulators will weaken the immune system. An example of a drug that causes this would be like methotrexate, and this is a drug we can give for Crohn's disease. Lipofuscin, or fusin, it's a hard word for me to pronounce. This really is the hallmark of aging because this is cellular degeneration. These are the brownish pigments from breakdown and absorption of damaged blood cells. We can find this in the heart, in the smooth muscles, and what they call this is an aging pigment. We know a lot about melatonin. It's a natural hormone that helps us sleep, secreted by the pineal gland in the brain, and it really helps adjust our circadian rhythm. And some people do take an over-the-counter herbal of melatonin to sleep. The mitochondria are the powerhouse of our cells. This is the oxidative stress up with that free radical problem, where it converts energy or power in our cells. But with aging, this can lead to some of the pathologies and problems that we have as the mitochondria don't work as well. So we're going to be talking about some of these theories and different things that we see. So I'm going to hold off on the non-stochastic theory, the reactive oxygen species theory, but I will talk here about census, and this is just the problem, how we become old, okay? The stochastic theories I'll talk about a little bit, but really that stochastic theory of aging is inevitable. It's a wear and tear theory. If we use it, it's going to break down. Telomerase and telomeres, the telomerase is an anti-aging enzyme, and the telomere kind of keeps it in check. But again, we have mechanisms in our body that try to help us not age. We have a lot of psychosocial theories that you've learned about, some of these in basic psych courses, sociology courses. But really what we want to look at is, how does one's role change? How do relationships change? What is that cohort, that generational cohort? How does that, as a group or that cohort, we look at the activity theory. And on page 64 in your book, it really talks about the differences of these theories. There's the disengagement theory due to loss. We have subcultures within cohorts, the continuity theory, age stratification, the person and environment fit theory. And this is again why a big part of this theory is why we want to keep people at home. And then that Gero transcendence, and how do we age gracefully? How do we transcend to be the best that we can be the older that we are? So they have positive and negative theories on how we age. With the psychological theories, these are presented on page 65 in your textbook. But we want to look at some of the mental processes and emotions and attitudes, and that's why if you look at yourself to really identify in that earlier chapter, what's your own attitude on aging? You know, is it something you fear? I think it also depends on the age you are, some of the role models that you've had in your own life related to people who are older, personality developments and how that can bring you on and affect you later on in life. We have the human needs theory. This is just Maslow. Your basic needs need to be met. We want to be known for our individuality. We have stages of our personality development, the life course, lifespan theories, selective optimization theory, that people, we want them, again, to be the optimal health and the best that they can be. So a lot of psychological pieces come together to create how do we feel, what's our reaction, what motivates us to be the best that we can be and quit smoking and maybe not drink so much and make better diet choices and understand the importance of exercise. And just knowing that as an individual that we want to be around other people too. The biological theories can get a little hard to look at, but when we talk about this stochastic theories, what we're looking at is that there's been some outside damage, free radicals, smoke, pesticides, radiation, damage to the DNA. The free radical that I talked about, that oxidative effect of just breakdown of what we eat and the taking antioxidants. The orgal error theory suggests that there's a problem within DNA and RNA replication. Really, again, that stochastic theory of just the wear and tear. Connective tissue theory, there really is no resource, but what we believe is that possibly that you can get deposits of minerals into connective tissue. So if you look at all this, it's just basic wear and tear. The non-stochastic theories, this is genetics, and it's more caused at a cellular level that will accelerate aging. Some people just age more quickly. You can look at some families, and more cells will die more quickly. The gene biological clock theory, coded, you're just coded when to die. This is going to cause cancer in somebody that has never been predisposed to anything that would give them lung cancer, and they end up with lung cancer. We know about the neuroendocrine theories. We look at the decrease in estrogen, decrease in melatonin, decrease in growth hormone, so that at again, a genetic level causes the aging. We do know that the immunological theory, we do know that our thymus gland does get smaller in size, and our thymus is really responsible for those helper cells to fight off infections. So some of the basic nursing theories that we need to be the most comfortable with really are the functional consequences theory. Really, how does environment and psychosocial consequences of our lives impact the function that we're left with? And what are we going to do about it? And what we worry about is failure to thrive in the elderly. We know about babies and failure to thrive, but there's that discord between the individual in relationships or the environment that just causes them to no longer care about living, especially after the loss of a spouse. You see that often. It's just like there's nothing left to live for, and you got to think about it. It is kind of hard when you're older and the people around you that were your life, your friends, your spouse, are leaving you because they've passed on. So in conclusion, we've got the older person with chronic illnesses, the stochastic theories of aging. Really, the stochastic ones are what help us understand things a lot better, and how to better manage it based on that wear and tear. The psychosocial theories of aging that help us assist older adults and their families keep integrity in check, allow peaceful death with dignity. We need to be more proactive, and not just because we have these advances in medicine doesn't mean we need to use them. And that is a huge disconnect right now with the elder population. Aging continues to be explained from multiple perspectives, and this is where we're still in need of research. We just don't understand why we die. But again, it's mostly those stochastic wear and tear theories that our bodies weren't meant to live forever. And this is the end of this unit.